Okay, so we are going to be talking about Bible journaling and our materials. So first of all, I'll just address this real quick. The Bibles we use have like little journaling tabs on the side here, so I'd really recommend that for people who are wanting to do this. So this is the Bible that I will be using, and I don't exactly like to have watercolor in my Bible, but I think I'm going to start doing that. But so what I've done in the past is doing this on my little notebook here, and this one is just a little I love you from God, and then here's these that we made for us, and so those are just a couple things that I've done. And the materials I've used for those are these pens, okay? So I have a bunch of these pens. They aren't that cheap, but they aren't too expensive either. They're called Stablio, and then I think you have to say .88 and then 5.4, okay? So they're kind of skinny, but they aren't exactly pens, but they aren't markers either. So they're kind of in between. I really like them like that. So those are those, and I also have these other pens. These are just normal ballpoint colored pens, okay? This one's just InkJoy. This is actually a gel one, and then these are the profile. These are like the ballpoint. So these ones are for like more writing. These ones do bleed through on the Bible, just to let you know. So those are the pens I use, and then here are the watercolor palette that I use. It's not that expensive, I think maybe $10 or something, but it does have a lot of colors in it because we used to use just like the normal 8-pack watercolor paint. So, and I got frustrated because there wasn't a color that I could use for a flower, so that wasn't good for that. But then here are the paint brushes I use, and this one was probably $8 too, but there are a lot in here as well. So those are just some of my materials that I use for my Bible journaling. And I do use colored pencils too, but I don't like those as much because you can't really blend with them as much as watercolors.
Alright, so I am going to tell a little bit about what I'm doing. So I started off with my very first one here in our little art Bible, you know. So this is the first one I did. It's Song of Songs 8:6. So this is the verse. You'll have to read it. I kind of rephrased it in here to love flashes like fire, the brightest kind of flame. So that's what I did for this one. So I wrote that in just normal pen, black pen. And then I drew the flame there, a little match, and then used watercolor to kind of blend that whole flame out. So that's one there. The second one, let's see, Matthew. Today is Sunday for this video. So today's sermon was like, do not worry. So that was the whole Matthew 6 chapter, little subtitle there of do not worry. So I did just a Bible journaling thing over that. So I just did some flowers. I said, do not worry here for our main points, and then each day has enough trouble of its own. So that kind of connected with verse 34. So that's, I think I should have one more that I've done so far. They're all kind of close. Jeremiah 6:16. So I did this nice little mountain theme. I'm kind of going back. It talks about stand at the crossroads and look, ask for ancient paths. So I did kind of like a thing here, God's way, my way. Just kind of show the whole cross path there. So those are a few things that I've done, and then we will keep expanding throughout our little Bible here. So I'm going to show you a few supplies that I've been using. So here are some of my most common ones. Of course, here is the little no, it's actually 8 color water palette thing. You know what they don't have? They need to make a white watercolor for these things because you really need a white. So this is, of course, a brush. It's gone through a lot, but just a normal brush. But the new thing I've gotten into, which I probably will use because this is not the best, a watercolor Stampin' Up brush. So these go with our stamps. So this brush just has that nice point at the end, and then there's water in this blue thing. So it does say push there, and then you push, and the water will come out, but I'm not going to do that right now. So here are some of the stamps that I use. This is Bold Brights from Stampin' Up. My mom does a lot of Stampin' Up stuff, so I just kind of picked out one of these. So they've got most of our normal colors in there, but of course there's so many other ones that I could use. So here are markers, of course. Now Julia has all these fancy things, but I just use markers, you know. But of course, you know, you can always seek your sister's stuff. So those are what I've been starting off with. That's really what I've done for all these things. I mean, I've just used these supplies, and that's worked fine for me. So that's pretty much it. One major thing, which I don't know if you can come up with this stuff on your own. You go, you are amazing. But we usually just use Pinterest. Pinterest is amazing for like all this kind of stuff. So Pinterest is usually where I get my ideas, and then we kind of almost copy them, but we don't, because like this, I mean, this is totally not what it looked like. Like, can you imagine not those flowers there and just that thing? Sorry, that's my camera thing. So I added those flowers in. So taking stuff from Pinterest and then adding in our own touches is kind of what we do, is what we'll keep doing. And once you get used to it, you'll totally maybe come up with your own. So hopefully that'll be our goal for us. So those are just some of the materials that we use.